Hello, my friends. Welcome back to part 2 of the Layla coloring page. So we're working on dark skin tone with Prismacolor pencils on this one. So I'm going to try and just leave her there because this is the bottom of the page. And if I can manage to do that, I can manage to stay in frame. Okay, so we started with the skin last time using Chestnut, so that's what we're going to do. And I think before I do that though, I am going to put in some of the highlights with the white. So let's just do a little bit of that. Try and keep it soft because this is going to show. So try and keep those pencil strokes even and smooth. I was quite happy with how she turned out last time. I might come in and just darken some of that chin a little bit more on the bottom. And I think this is the last one that I've got before I start adding my much more autumn coloring pages. I've got several of them done and ready to go. This year's going by so fast. I can't even believe how fast this year's gone by. Okay, so her hand is quite a bit brighter than the rest of her. So I'm going to put a decent amount of white down. Actually, I'm going to use the white pencil to make her fingernails while I'm thinking of it. Okay, and then down. Then we have, I want a little bit of brightness. And if I'm not careful and I start going too fast, I get pencil strokes in my, on the page that I don't want, because I just want this white to to help to brighten the area. I don't necessarily, you know, want it to be, you know, really obnoxious. It's just lighten it a little bit. So that's something that sometimes I have to work on, is slowing down a little bit. Especially when I'm filming. I think I've told you guys this before. I tend to rush for some reason when I'm filming. All right, let's do Chestnut. So I want to try and build this up a little bit heavier in here, because this is is all in shadow from her hair. This we're going to want pretty dark. I hope I can get it dark enough without it looking too blotchy. And without using the luminance. Let's see. Espresso might do the job with enough of the chestnut to keep it in the right color tone, color range. Okay, and I'm going to go right over the white. All right, we'll do the hand last, I think, the arm. So this is all got to get really dark as well. So this plant, let's see, this is the crease of her arm right here. It said it was a yucca plant, but it doesn't look like any yucca plant that I can find. I mean, other than what the photo said it was. But I liked the picture, so I went with it. But you know, it's hard to, I don't know what to tell you what this is. You know, it looks kind of like the same plant that we did with the Olivia and Ruby page, which was that mother-in-law tongue, except the way that it grows is not the same. So if you're coloring it yourself without coloring along with me, I would say search both yucca and mother-in-law plant or mother-in-law tongue, and just use a kind of a combination of the two, you know, two things that you've searched for as to help you with reference. All right, let's go to our Beige Sienna. Debating on whether I should put a little bit more chestnut on these dark areas first. I think I will. So scratch that. Let's just darken these just a little bit more. We'll use the black cherry here as well, but I want to make sure that the shaded areas are definitely darker than the rest of her skin. This too. All right, well, we'll keep going over here. Using this chestnut instead of brown really helps warm up the skin and cover the gray. Okay. Beige Sienna. Yes, Beige Sienna. And again, these are all the same colors that I used when I did the white version of hers. So, and I'm actually kind of doing them in the same order as well. So you should have pretty good luck if you want to do her with white. Just adjust as needed. Don't follow me exactly. If you're doing the page on white and you feel like, you need a little bit more of one color or another, just do it. You can do it. So again, I'm lightening my pressure as I work into the center there. Oh, I totally, God, I'm such a dork. Okay, so I'm coloring along here and I'm going, gosh, her arm looks really gray. Why does her arm look so gray? Gee, I don't know. Maybe because she didn't put any chestnut on there. All right, I'm gonna back up. So we've done the Beige Sienna here and I'm gonna get the chestnut down on her. on this arm. Oh my goodness. So we watched the premiere of The Rings of Power on Amazon Prime this weekend. And I was very impressed. I really, really liked it. You know, so far I'm only in 2 episodes, but I really liked it. And my husband was telling me that the buzz, you know, online and everything was that it was really getting bad reviews, bad press, I don't know, bad something, that they were really ragging on it, and I was thinking, how is that even possible? I just didn't get it. You know, I don't know. I suppose if you're a hardcore Tolkien I'm going to say a Tolkien nerd. And I say that with the utmost respect because I'm a total nerd when it comes to all kinds of different things. So I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I guess I could see how you would feel like, you know, you didn't like it maybe because it's not Tolkien. It's based on Tolkien, but it's not Tolkien. I don't know. I thought it was done very, very well. I'm a huge fan of the whole movie franchise. I'll be honest and say that I've never read the books other than The Hobbit. When they came out, I was, you know, kind of too young to. Well, they've been around for a long time, but I was too young to really read them and appreciate them earlier in my life, and later in my life, I just didn't have the time. But I adore the movies, and so far to me, this is right up there with the quality of the cinematography and the story and the characters. You're already starting to like develop. Well, I'm already starting to develop, you know, caring feelings about some of the different characters. I really enjoyed it. So if you have Amazon Prime, or you've been debating on whether or not you should get it for all the wonderful free shipping on coloring supplies, it's good for shows too. I'm glad we have it. Okay, I want to get her hand right. I don't want to screw up her hand here. Let's concentrate on this a little bit. This is shadow. All right, back to beige. Sharpen this. So when I sharpen my pencils that are off, you know, off center, what winds up happening is, you know, you get that nice long sharp. This is probably not the best choice to show you. Color-wise, it just disappears into. And then the other side, you know, that white casing goes way up high because the pencil is the core is not centered. So rather than just continuing to put that thing in the pencil sharpener and wasting so much pencil, I just take off the extra bit of wood casing, and then I have a lot more lead to go ahead and utilize. Okay, did I do all of this? I think this was the point when I realized I hadn't done the... All right, so let's... I need some more chestnut or something right here. Don't forget, if I color too fast for you, just slow the video down with those 3 little dots up there. I will say about back to the Rings of Power. I will say one thing that I do miss is the music. The music is not as awesome as the music was for the Lord of the Rings. It's not bad, but it's I mean, that music from the Lord of the Rings was so good. Okay, let's... smooth this out a little bit. All right, what's next? Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of Nectar in her skin. Just because I like a little bit of pink. Not everywhere. Maybe on her chest. All right, that may not be enough to make a difference yet. I might have to add it afterwards. Okay, let's take our beige, start from the lighter areas and work out, because I don't want, I kind of want this to be in the highlighty bits. I don't think I'm going to use it on the whole, on all the skin. I don't, yeah. I think I'm going to move on to the black cherry. Alright, so I'm going to do this in here. Don't put a lot of pressure on this because it's a really dark color. And even though we have layers of color down, I can still tell that if I press too hard, I will get pencil strokes. We don't want pencil strokes. We want nice, smooth lay down of color. I think I want some on this back side of her arm. And let's go ahead and put some on this side of her arm. And I think if I press really lightly, I can put some as the shadow here. like I missed a pencil. I did miss a pencil. So Sienna Brown needs to come in here. And yeah. Okay, that's all right. So we're going to warm it up a little bit with the Sienna Brown. I don't think I used this yet. If I'm wrong and I used it and I just forgot, but I don't think so. It doesn't, the skin tone doesn't look like I put it on here yet, so. So I hope I didn't screw up anybody who's working on white. Yeah, I hope I didn't. If I did, I'm sorry. But you should be able to see on yours or here on mine how many different colors are all in the skin. They're not all blended together. It doesn't look like one color that we've layered a ton of, you know, colors to get it. You can see the purples and the beiges and the rusty warm you know, orangey colors, and they're all visible. And that's what makes the skin so much more interesting to me. I just love seeing all these different colors all together, intermingling. I don't think she's quite dark enough in here. So I'm going to add a little bit more chestnut, I think. This is looking a little bit better. Okay, next, let's see. We did that. Now I'm supposed to be blending. Well, you know what? I want to put some espresso into these really dark areas. Hopefully that all smooths out when I blend it. Hopefully, hopefully. I think that that's okay. I think that that's okay. Maybe just a little bit more of a little crease in her arm here. All right, so I'm supposed to blend with white now. That's what we did up here, so that's always a little bit scary. I'm gonna start in the highlighty bits. All right, now let's see. I don't want this to go too light as I use this, so I'm going to start slow and make sure that it's what I want to do. I think that this is going to be fine. We'll add that yellow ochre, burnt ochre over the top to warm it back up again. And I'm not going to go too crazy over on this side because I definitely want that side to be, you know, before I keep going, I just want to make sure that what I'm doing is what I want to be doing. So I'm going to take my burnt ochre now. I'm going to add that. I don't remember at what point did I use the colorless blender. So I'm going to put the, and see how much that warms that right back up again, which is really nice. The white kind of dulled it down, you know, and took away that sun-kissed look. And this is kind of putting it back in now. Just going to use my white again right here. All right, let's try the colorless blender, and if that arm looks just the way I want it to look, then I know I've got the right, I'm on the right track. I think that looks good. So what was I doing? Oh yeah, white. I was blending with white. I know I blended. All right. I kind of feel like I want to just maybe just go straight for the colorless blender. But there might. decisions. All right, I'll stick with what I was doing. So just, I don't even know if I would call this blending with white because I'm not pressing down very hard. And honestly, I don't want to put any white up in here because I really don't want that to darken. So let's throw a little bit of burnt ochre over what we've done here. I just think I'm going to work in sections, a little bit at a time. This has to get blended out. That's a little bit blotchy. There's a lot of pencil there, so let's hope that the colorless blender does its job. I'm going to start up at the top. This is kind of always where I run into problems with doing the dark skin tones because, you know, it's a lot easier to get that mid-tone depth than it is to get this really, really dark without it looking blotchy. At least that's my struggle, is the colors start to look blotchy. But I think that's not too bad. I'm getting distracted by the lines in her hair, but those will go away when we add the pan pastels. I'm blending right over her collarbone because I want it to be light, but I don't necessarily want it to be white. Well, I don't want it to be white. That still looks a little bit blotchy right there to me. I don't know what I did. I don't like blotchy skin tones. I'm gonna take my Beige Sienna. If I was working with other colors, other brands, I might pull out my cork. Holbein cork is a lovely pencil to use for blending skin tones. It kind of goes to whatever color you need it to. I don't know. It works well on dark tones. It works well on light tones. And it just seems to smooth everything out really nicely. So instead I'm using the beige for that, and we'll see if I don't want to go too much in here. Seems a little bit better. Okay, that's not too bad. So let's do the arm next, or I'll forget it. We'll just work our way this way. What was I doing? You guys, maybe this wasn't the best way to do things because I keep forgetting what I should be doing. I feel like there's probably not enough color on her arm yet. So let's do some more Sienna Brown. You know, when you use that colorless blender, you really want to make sure that there's plenty of pigment on the page, or else it's got nothing to blend and you won't get as good of a results. So I just want to make sure I have enough. It feels like I don't, so I'm just going to go with my gut. Maybe a little bit of beige. Because if I remember right, I don't think I put beige on here. That works right down the center. I like that. Believe it or not, I think I'm going to use some more white on her hand. All right, I'm going to blend up here with white. Boy, it got bright, didn't it? Whew. All right, let's use the colorless blender here. All right, let's do this because I'm not going to add any light colors in here. I want to keep that nice and dark. I'm pretty sure that I don't have enough pigment down here yet. I feel like I kind of neglected this, so I'm going to put down some beige sienna. It's a nice neutral color here on her skin, but it gives me some pigment on the page so that when I do blend, I've got something to move around. But then I want to add a little bit of the burnt ochre on here as well. So, I feel pretty good about everything. I might try and lighten this a little bit. I think light would be hitting here. Yes, light is. So that right there is the, the other side of her, the palm of her hand. So sometimes I just like to break out my Prisma blender. Again, I wish I had like a reason to tell you why I feel like it's the thing that I want to use, but don't. It's mostly for details. That might be a little bit bright. All right. So at this point, I think I'm just kind of fine-tuning things. That was white, obviously. This is burnt ochre. I feel like I want a little bit more warmth on top of this dark shadow, just a little bit. So the Sienna Browns and the burnt ochres work really well with those purple tones to warm them up so they're not quite so cold. I don't know what word I'm trying to use. So they're not so, gray is not the right word, but I guess cool is the right word. But just that little bit of warmth on that edge, I think helped. I like what it did. Guys, I think I'm probably done. Now on the reference photo that I used, this area in here is quite dark underneath. Underneath the afro. Is that what they're still called? I don't know. I don't know if they're still called that or not. All I know is it's super cute and she's darling. Super curly hair. I think that's what I'll call it. So at this point, I want to be a little bit careful because the tooth is getting pretty full. And you do get to a point where when you start using your pencils and the tooth is already full, where I feel like it almost pulls the pigment up and things start to get blotchy. So I do want to be cautious of that. And then when I use my colorless blender, I'm not pressing hard at all because I don't really want to deposit a lot of wax or anything. I just kind of want to use it to move that pigment around a little bit. There's something up in here I don't like. And it's probably just the whole, like, you know, lots of dark colors all layered in, and it's starting to get blotchy. Part of me even wants to try some black. That's scary. But I think it needs it. Crazy there or I'll ruin it. Just softening that line. It looked a little harsh. All right, here we go. I think I'm going to call that good. Can you give me just a second to to hold it up and away from me? And hold it at a straight angle. I think it's good. Yeah. All right. Part 2, that's a wrap. So I think we'll do the, what are we gonna do? I think we're gonna do her hair last. So I think we'll work on the greenery and the background. Background won't take very long. And then her hair next. So it's coming along good. I'm happy with it. I hope you like it. I hope you had fun. And I'll see you for part 3. Until then, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Love to everybody. Bye.